Guilty Gear Strive delivers a jaw-dropping fusion of style and substance, raising the bar for modern fighting games. The visuals explode with personality-fluid animations, bold effects, and characters that ooze charisma. Combat feels tight, impactful, and rewarding. Whether mastering advanced combos or just enjoying the spectacle, the soundtrack is pure adrenaline, perfectly matching the game's high-energy vibe. Online play runs smoothly, making competitive matches a blast. Every punch, slash, and counter feels meaningful in a fighter that's as beautiful as it is brutal. Between Horizons delivers a gripping sci-fi mystery wrapped in retro-inspired pixel art that's both nostalgic and striking. Every choice made feels weighty, with consequences that ripple through a richly built narrative. The space station setting oozes atmosphere, inviting exploration and rewarding curiosity. Dialogue is smartly written, with characters that feel real and morally complex. Pacing is tight, pulling players deeper into its branching story with every clue uncovered. It's a thoughtful, immersive experience that respects player agency and rewards careful attention to detail. Gliese is a world originally inhabited by ancient civilizations, but now populated by intelligent creatures known as Diokek. Astor, a young Diokek warrior, goes on a mission to solve the mystery of his ancestors' disappearance and discover the secret to their survival. The game has nearly 20 hours of main plot and side tasks, 16 distinct opponents, and 10 bosses. Players may arm themselves with 4 different weapons, master dynamic skills, summon huge constructions, and establish their own fighting style. The game also has a new Game Plus option for an even more challenging encounter. As the new captain of the Pegasus organization, you must guide a squad of expert pilots, counselors, and landers on a variety of tasks. Your tasks include transporting cargo, harvesting resources, and rescuing stranded pilots while traversing a cosmos full of moons and planets. The function is fraught with tension and hazard, yet it is critical to the interplanetary economy. An intriguing gateway reveals a strange and unexplored planet. The game boasts gorgeous visuals, an engrossing storyline, 4 difficulty levels, customizable characters, and abilities.
Willpower, control.
The Pale Beyond is a survival role-playing game. The game immerses players in a never-ending freezing wasteland, forcing them to negotiate hazardous ice and the depths of the Pale Beyond. As the polar winter approaches, your actions will have a huge impact on the story. As expedition leader, you must manage restricted resources, strike a balance between crew safety and morale, and make difficult decisions. The game also has rich soundtrack, featuring unique musical compositions, sea shanties, and accordion tunes that change dynamically as you go.
Bonds, people.
Ravenswatch Legendary Edition expertly blends old legend with roguelike principles, creating an enthralling experience. Every hero, from Scarlet to Beowulf, has unique skills that foster different gaming styles. The randomly created maps guarantee that no 2 runs feel the same, which increases replayability. The dark fantasy design draws gamers into Reverie's damaged universe. Whether facing difficulties alone or in co-op mode, the dynamic battle stays engrossing. The game includes customized skins, which adds a personalized touch, making it a must-have for action-adventure fans. The Penitent One awakens in an unknown new area and is moved from his ultimate resting place, forcing him again into the never-ending cycle of life, death, and resurrection. His only option is to enter this deadly planet and uncover its long-forgotten secrets. The second entry in the Blasphemous series teases the return of the Penitent One, picking up where the first game's free wounds of Eventide upgrade left off. The apparition of the heart in the sky heralds the return of the miraculous and the promise of a new miraculous child.
This ends.
Players must use bright phrases, colors, shapes, and sounds to repel waves of oncoming attackers. If the enemy breaks your defenses, you must engage in close quarters battle to drive them back. The game is loaded with Minter's typical comedy, trippy imagery, and a passion for creating games that are a delight to play. Key elements include arcade excitement, 50 distinct levels and accessibility settings for individuals who are sensitive to flashing lights or want a more relaxing experience. Players must gather ammo for precise shots, preserve their combination, and protect their rings or life force. PowerSlave Exhumed is a new version of the classic console game. The game takes players on a trip through the ancient Egyptian city of Karnak, where hostile extraterrestrial forces have arrived, isolating the residents and causing mayhem. Key features include immersive first-person action, over 20 levels of non-stop gameplay, completely 3D-generated scenery, and the ability to cross dangerous bridges and submerged caverns. Players can also equip themselves with a wide range of weaponry such as hand grenades, flamethrowers, M60 machine guns, and mystical cobra staffs. Days of Doom is a tactical RPG roguelite that challenges players to find sanctuary, a ray of hope in an otherwise chaotic world. Players must assemble a motley crew of heroes to defend their expanding village and battle their way ahead. The game has 8 character classes with distinct powers, a dozen foes, over 50 randomly occurring events, and over 70 objects and runes to gather. The odds against players may appear overwhelming, but clever use of heroes' skills, including upgrading and adding new abilities along the journey, might aid. CONSCRIPT successfully integrates classic survival horror with the dismal scenario of World War I, resulting in a frightening and intense experience. The fixed camera perspective, restricted resources, and spooky ambiance reflect the genre's greatest elements, but the historical setting adds a new dimension of dread. Every bullet counts, and every decision is significant, making each encounter seem intense. The eerie sound design and meticulous pixel imagery bring the trenches to life in an unsettling manner. Fans of vintage horror games will find this a thrilling and memorable experience. Ship of Fools is a current classic Roguelite-inspired game in which players must defend their ship against sea monsters and the aquapocalypse. The game has co-op and solo play, as well as the opportunity to navigate perilous waterways and meet unusual objects and islands. Players must carefully plan their actions as the everlasting storm shifts and blocks their routes. Over 100 trinkets and relics may be collected, and the game incorporates thrilling hand-drawn artwork to lend spice to the quest. The Survivalist is a one-of-a-kind adventure game in which players hunt animals for food and confront supernatural foes. Quests can be obtained from a mysterious stranger or found washed up on the coast. The game has a variety of biomes and allows players to construct, survive, and share their knowledge with their pals. Because the Mimic system permits monkeys to assist with daily work or raids, monkey control is critical for survival. Making the most of resources, such as creating axes or fruit smoothies, is the key to survival. As a trained furniture arrangement or location technician, you'll work with Smooth Moves, a small moving company, to complete moving projects around Packmore. The game has a co-op option in which you may play alone or with friends. You may utilize physics to move furniture around barriers and learn the ins and outs of different moving tasks. As your reputation increases, you'll visit a variety of settings, such as peaceful suburbia, frantic fields, spooky mansions, and virtual reality. Join Smooth Moves today and become a certified moving master. Roguebook is a roguelike deck-building game created by Faria and Richard Garfield. Players may unleash lethal combinations, battle legendary opponents, and select from a massive collection of 200 cards. Players may level up their heroes, gain new skills, and travel through 20 rigorous difficulty levels. The game is endlessly replayable, allowing players to experiment with different combinations and strategies. Roguebook is an exhilarating experience in which every decision counts and strategic thinking is imposed. Decarnation is a hauntingly beautiful psychological horror adventure that combines pixel art with a genuinely moving story. Its bizarre dreamscapes and creepy soundtrack create a disturbing atmosphere, transporting players to a nightmare world full with symbolic riddles and unnerving encounters. The game deftly examines issues of trauma and identity while providing gameplay variety with innovative minigames. The tale is compelling, and the visual approach heightens the ominous tone. Players of narrative-driven horror will enjoy Decarnation, which is both immersive and thought-provoking.
Navigating the treacherous iron sea.
Northgard is a strange land teeming with wildness, mythological animals, and old ruins. As you lead your tribe to success, you will encounter difficulties and barriers that will put your strategic and decision-making skills to the test. Collect resources such as food, timber, and cash to build your community and hire skilled fighters, craftsmen, and shamans. Build your economy, study new technologies, and form partnerships with other clans to improve your position. However, competing tribes and frightening monsters lurk in the shadows, ready to strike at any time. Evoland is a fascinating game in which players travel through the history of action-adventure games, acquiring new technology and graphic enhancements. The game provides a unique and nostalgic experience inspired by popular RPG series, complete with a lovely pixel visual style, and witty homage to famous games such as The Legend of Zelda, Final Fantasy, and Diablo. Players go, they will see firsthand how gaming has evolved, from rudimentary 8-bit graphics to more complex visuals and gameplay features. Evoland is a nostalgic journey that will keep players delighted for hours.
Perhaps stolen like my gold.
Leo's Fortune is an engaging platform adventure game in which players must track down the robber who stole their riches. The game includes magnificent handcrafted stages, fascinating settings, and challenging physics-based puzzles. The plot includes following golden breadcrumbs to discover the truth about the heist. The game's immersive soundtrack complements the rich scenery and emotive plot. The hardcore mode is intended for courageous explorers who wish to demonstrate their resolve. The game has fully defined characters and a lively universe with individual backstories. A young investigator, Hercule Poirot, is invited to a party held by the Van den Bosch family to celebrate their daughter's engagement. The gathering takes a nasty turn when a visitor is discovered killed during a snowfall. Poirot is charged with exposing secret facts and dangerous animosities within the house. As he goes into a fresh crime story, he navigates a complex murder mystery, finding the layers of duplicity that surround the Van den Bosch family. He works quietly with suspects to collect important information while keeping an eye out for unusual behavior.
I have some questions for you. Is there any...
Yars Rising is a gripping 2D action-adventure game in which players play as Emi Kimura, a hacker hired by a mystery benefactor to unearth a secret. To unearth a deep mystery, Emi must negotiate tasks that include sprinting, leaping, sneaking, and hacking. As she progresses, she obtains additional abilities that allow her to return to previous locations and explore secret regions. The game has an exciting sci-fi mystery, with Emi visiting numerous locales and learning her connections to an extraterrestrial culture. The Demon Universe is a universe full with nasties, each commanded by its own dictator. Beatsy's young demon is given the responsibility of becoming the Demon Queen. The game has a distinct look that combines 2D drawings with 3D settings. It has a unique advancement system, platforming combinations, and a physics-driven fighting system, as well as comedy and flair. Checkpoints can be placed for free, and unusual tasks such as photo hunt can be found. The game has carefully designed stages with different challenges and interesting monsters. Headbangers Rhythm Royale is an online, cross-platform multiplayer game in which players strive to become the greatest master headbanger. The game has 23 distinct minigames distributed across 4 rounds that test memory, rhythm, reflexes, reaction time, and rap abilities. Players may personalize your pigeon with various things and earn crumbs with each game. They may also utilize crumbs as in-game taunts to highlight their accomplishments. Players may go through tasks, earn crumbs and XP, and team up with up to 30 pigeons on any platform. RollerCoaster Tycoon 3 is a famous roller coaster simulation game in which players may build their own amusement park. The game has a revamped Nintendo Switch UI with intuitive controls for easy creation. Players may succeed in a variety of settings by managing cash, stores, services, and workers. The game also contains material from the Soaked and Wild expansion packs, which let players build and manage water parks and wildlife habitats. The game has approximately 300 coasters, rides, 500 scenery pieces, 60 stores, services, and 20 animals. Akka Arrh is a comfortable life sim with a delightful prehistoric flavor. As a shopkeeper in a town populated with charming dinosaur residents, you'll craft, trade, and make connections in a calm, pastel-colored setting. The visual style is incredibly warm, and the characters are full of personality, making every contact pleasurable. As you build your store and modify your surrounds, you'll feel a pleasant feeling of accomplishment. Akka Arrh's stress-free gameplay and wholesome atmosphere make it ideal for players who enjoy creativity, community building, and a touch of prehistoric whimsy. Thanks everyone for watching. If you liked any one of these games, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Hope to see you on the next one. And stay awesome!
In the face.